So Alice, how did you prepare for your interview?
So there was a school near my school, like a sort of bigger one, where they held interview practices that I went to, which was useful because it was a teacher who I didn't know, so it was kind of like I wouldn't know my actual interviewer, and they just did a practice interview with me, and then I also did have a practice interview with my own teachers too, and then I sort of looked at online what questions I might be asked, and went over my personal statement to make sure I knew about it. So they didn't ask me something about it, and I couldn't remember what I'd written. So.
And can you tell me the kind of dynamics of the interview? How many people were in the room? Potentially, did you have any entrance exams that you had to do beforehand?
So before my interview, I had to do the ELAT, which is the English Literature Admissions Test, and in that they gave us about 7 passages from different texts and an overall theme, and basically said talk about any 2 of these passages in any way that you want on the theme. Which was actually fine because there's so much choice. I went through them all, chose 2 I thought I could talk about. So I had to send that off, and then for my actual interview, I had 2 interviews. I interviewed at a different college to Queen's, Selwyn College. And at Selwyn, they did 2 interviews for English. The first interview was about myself and my interests and activities, and sort of gauging whether I did other things in my time besides working. So I had to talk about activities. It was quite short. My second interview was focused on English, and there were 2 interviewers in it and me. And I got given an extract and asked to, had 5 minutes to look over it, analyse it, think of what I had to say about it, and then asked to talk about it in the interview. And they briefly asked me some questions on my personal statements as well.
Okay, how did you feel before your interview and in the kind of days leading up to it?
I felt pretty nervous, but at the same time I felt like I was just going to do my best, and I wasn't going to, I knew that if I just tried to stay calm, did the best that I could, then it would be okay even if I didn't get it. So I thought I was okay. I was quite nervous, especially just before, because obviously it's quite strange. You're in this college, and there's these people you don't know who are sitting in front of you asking you questions. But they were really friendly. The people who interviewed me were so friendly, and they just said take your time with every question. So I calmed down quite quickly. It was okay when I was in there.
And how did you feel after your interview?
I felt really proud because I had been nervous for it. And I'd done it, and I just, was proud of myself for actually going in there, getting it done, trying to stay calm, and I felt like I had done the best that I could with it, even if some bits didn't go as great as I would have liked. And then thought, it's done, it's okay, I was happy.